What is going on, everyone? It is me, Lone Vault Wanderer, and here to talk about a game that I haven't necessarily talked about in a while, and that's Assassin's Creed. As I'm sure most of you know, there are a lot of rumors going around as to the next Assassin's Creed game, whether it's coming out this year, whether it's going to be revealed at E3 of this year, what it's going to be called. The big rumor is that it's going to be named Assassin's Creed Empire, and it's going to be set somewhere in Egypt. Kotaku initially reported on that. I believe it was early last year, and then there's been small leaks and rumors about the Egyptian setting and also the name Assassin's Creed Empire since then, some of which we don't necessarily know whether it's true or not. But for the purposes of this video, I want to take it on face value that yes, Assassin's Creed Empire is going to be revealed at E3 of this year. It's going to come out later this year, and it's going to be set somewhere in Egypt. And Assassin's Creed has gone through an interesting time over the past couple of years. Obviously not the last year, because that was focusing on the Assassin's Creed movie, and we didn't have an Assassin's Creed game release at all, which was a big change to how Assassin's Creed used to be released in the past. It was an annual franchise released every single year, although it wasn't always like that, and this is kind of the purpose or the point of this video. So I used to be a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Actually, I'd argue that I still am to this day. Like many people, I'm sure, my favorite Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed 2. I played the first one. In fact, I recently played the first one, which was a very, very average game at best. And that was actually the first game that I played on my Xbox 360 because it came packaged within the console. But then I played Assassin's Creed 2 and they really knocked it out of the park with that game. I'm wanting to let's play it again soon, just in anticipation, potentially anyways, for a new Assassin's Creed coming this year and being revealed at E3 of this year. But since Assassin's Creed 2, I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed games. And people might be asking, well, Lone, how can you consider yourself a fan of Assassin's Creed if you haven't played since Assassin's Creed 2? And some people tell me that some of the other games in the Ezio trilogy are some of the best. I'm told as well that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is also very good, which, mind you, I did put 10 to 15 hours into Assassin's Creed Black Flag because I picked it up again just to see what the series was like. But I haven't played it really properly since Assassin's Creed 2. And part of it is down to me and my schedule, but also as well, something happened to Assassin's Creed after Assassin's Creed 2. It became really popular and it became a yearly franchise. If you don't know, Assassin's Creed 1 was released in 2007. Then they took 2 years to create Assassin's Creed 2, which I think was so important in making Assassin's Creed 2 one of the best Assassin's Creed games out there. It took 2 years to develop, right? But ever since then, we've had an Assassin's Creed release every single year thereafter. Brotherhood, Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, Rogue, Unity, Syndicate, and then it stopped there. We didn't see a game in 2016. But every single year since 2009, we had an Assassin's Creed game. And I felt like, especially because there are so many other games to play nowadays, even back in 2010, there were a bunch of other games that I wanted to play. There was always an Assassin's Creed coming out every year, and I believed it became so oversaturated. There were just so many games, and it was very hard to keep up with every single installment in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And when you miss one and you don't play it, you're likely to miss the next one, and the next one, and the next one after that, especially if they keep coming out every year. It's just a snowball effect where you don't seem to keep up with these constant annual releases. And that's the problem that I was having with Assassin's Creed. I know there are complaints about glitches and there not being good games, etc., but I was still very happy to play Assassin's Creed games, but there were just so many to deal with and too many other games out there to keep on top of. And again, once you miss one, you're likely to miss the next one, and you're likely to miss the next one after that, because Assassin's Creed are somewhat sequels, build up on each other, and in my opinion anyways, you can't just drop into Assassin's Creed 3 when you really haven't finished the Ezio trilogy. You can't just really play Syndicate out of the blue when you haven't played any of the other games, or the DLC, mind you. You just feel like you don't understand the game well enough, there's not that continuity, so you don't play it. And annual franchises for certain games, they do work. For example, Call of Duty, it does work, even though there are a lot of people out there that say seeing a new Call of Duty game every single year is a bit overwhelming, it's a bit oversaturated at this point. And I would agree with that to an extent, but at least with Call of Duty, it's a very short campaign and then you just mindlessly play multiplayer. Assassin's Creed is not like that. It's never been like that. I know that they had multiplayer in the past, but they ditched that. But Assassin's Creed has been this single player game with a good story, an awesome world, and something in terms of the campaign and story you're putting more hours into than Call of Duty. So I've always thought that Assassin's Creed, even though Ubisoft clearly have the resources to do it, I never believe that Assassin's Creed should be released every single year. I think it should be something that's released every 2 years, let people play the game properly, let the memory of the previous Assassin's Creed game somewhat fade for people, and then bring the next game after 2 years. And importantly, that's going to let the dev team to create a better game, because this is touching on the glitches that were existent in previous Assassin's Creed games. Those games didn't necessarily run well, especially on PC, from what I read anyways. And of course, that's easily down to the fact that the games were released every single year. Having an extra year to work on a game is a big thing. And again, I go back to Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2. I think that game was able to improve so much because it had 2 years. I do not think Assassin's Creed 2 would have been even close to the game that it was if it had only spent a year in development. So this is why I've entitled this video Assassin's Creed Empire. Could very well win me back. This is a game that's been in development for almost 2 years now, and presumably is going to be in development for 2 years from the moment it's released. And I want to say Ubisoft made that decision because of fan feedback and criticism, because there are more issues than should have been the case with previous Assassin's Creed games in terms of glitches, etc. They listened to the fans, they listened to the criticism and said, you know what, we're not just going to spit out another Assassin's Creed game. We're going to wait, we're going to take our time with the development and create an awesome game in Assassin's Creed Empire. And that's why I'm really looking forward to it, because it's likely going to be more polished, it's likely going to have less bugs, and also as well, importantly, bearing in mind the fact that the CEO of Ubisoft has indicated that we might not ever see yearly Assassin's Creed releases, at least for the foreseeable future. It's going to give a chance for people just to play the game and also to catch up on the previous games. And I think that's so important with a franchise like Assassin's Creed that has more continuity with it in terms of the world, story, and narrative. Unlike Call of Duty, which you can play the campaign for any one of those games relatively separate from one another. They don't tend to link too much unless you're thinking about Black Ops. But I've also read as well that Assassin's Creed Empire, or whatever it's called, may not even get a 2017 release too. It could be back in 2018. So that's even more time of development, and that's going to improve Empire, or whatever it's called, even more. And still giving several years for people to play, catch up the previous games, and so long as they stick with a 2 yearly or even 3 yearly release cycle. I think 1, people aren't going to get so sick of seeing Assassin's Creed every year. The product is not going to get oversaturated. 2, it's going to allow people to catch up. 3, we're going to see less bugs, better performance, and hopefully better ports to PC. And 4, I think it's just going to make for a more sustainable franchise moving forward. And I think it's going to help Ubisoft reassess their focuses and say, you know what, we really need to keep building our other franchises and not just continually focus on Assassin's Creed every year. That largely takes the limelight away from other Ubisoft games. So anyways, Wastelanders, let me know what you think about Assassin's Creed Empire in the comments below. Are you looking forward to it? Could it win you back? What are your general opinions of the Assassin's Creed franchise in its current state? Let me know. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.